Alright, we're going to make another video here pointing out how Sony fanboys are a disease and NeoGAF is a joke and Sony fanboys are a disease on gaming. Now here's what happened. I was on my YouTube the other day and I come across some dude. I don't even honestly know what the hell his name was at this point. But he was a typical Sony fanboy. I don't know how I even ended up subscribing. I'm a small time guy. He's black. I don't know why it seems like half these Sony fanboys are black, A. And B, they can't really talk. They have no, charisma. They have no, they can barely speak. And all they do is, they'll make these videos about PlayStation's better than Xbox. PlayStation's better than Xbox. And this guy, I don't even remember. I can't find him here in my videos. Maybe the YouTube algorithm's so stupid. I guess it thinks I didn't already watched it or something. I don't know. But, I don't see him. His name, I don't even remember his name. I think it was Super something. Super some shit. I don't know. Point is, he was an idiot, typical Sony fan, but I don't know how I ended up subscribed to him. But he must have done something good at some point. Made a neat gaming-related video that I checked out or something. I was like, hey, I'll subscribe to this guy. Anyways, so he's a small-time black Sony fanboy YouTuber. I don't know why 90% of Sony fanboys seem to be black, or, way more than should be anyway, but it seems like it. Anyway, so he gets on there and the video is about Horizon SJW sales. We all know Sony just came out and said, oh, Horizon SJW sold 2.6 million. And this whole video was typical crowing about that. And typical, of course, it's never about that. It's never about the game. It's never about enjoying games. It's never about, oh, I'm happy this game I like sold well so that they can... No, it's Xbox. Xbox, first thing on every Sony fanboy's mind. First thing on 90% of Sony players' minds. Forget fanboys. First thing on his mind is, oh, Xbox shows Sony's better than Xbox again. Oh, Xbox sucks. The first word out of Sony's fanboys' mouth is always Xbox. It's always on the top of their mind. That's one of the main problems that I hate them for. And I get it, there's a few Xbox fanboys on YouTube that are kind of, but they're not even close to as, arrogant and bad, and they don't sit there and think about PlayStation all the time. I mean, I get there's fanboys on both sides, but there's probably 100 times, literally 100. I can only think of like 3 Xbox fanboys on YouTube, and there's every other person who makes videos about games is basically a Sony fanboy, so that's 50 million versus 3. Okay, I went a little exaggerated there, but it's not that crazy. There's hardly any Xbox fanboys, and there's just hordes and hordes and hordes of PlayStation fanboys. But all these PlayStation fanboys care about is Xbox. They don't... This guy, I don't even know his name, but he wasn't... Oh, I'm glad Horizon SJW sold well. I love the game. I hope they make another... No, it was Xbox. That's what the video was about. In his video, I didn't even watch much of it, but what little I watched, he's basically saying Xbox players don't support their games. See, Horizon SJW selling 2.6 million. It shows again the PlayStation players. We go out there and we support our games. Okay, so you're saying you're a bigger fanboy, So you're saying that Sony players just play games because they're exclusive? So they're basically all about system wars? Is that, what exactly are you saying? But first of all, I just wanted to comment on what an idiot he is and how wrong he is. Because, first of all, we don't really know sales. The sales are worldwide. They're in Europe, they're in Japan, they're in the USA. We get some sales data, but we get less and less, especially for Europe. We get good data from Japan. That's about it. But it's getting a smaller and smaller market. It doesn't really matter anymore. Okay, first of all, Horizon SJW is selling 2.6 million in like a week, I think. It's not even that freaking great, The Sony, as we all know, has double the user base of Xbox One. So that's equivalent to an Xbox One title selling 1.3 million. Would people be like, wow, what a great seller? You know, if Xbox came out and said, oh, this game sold out 1.3 million in the first week. I mean, not really, but it would be a game that sold at the same rate as Horizon SJW. In fact, Forza Horizon 3, Microsoft came out on February 13th and announced it sold 2.5 million, almost as many as this Horizon SJW. Now, granted, Forza Horizon 3 came out in September 2016, so it had 5 months, and it had the holiday period, and I get all that. But also, you have to consider that it's sold into half the user base, you know. So just double those sales to make them equivalent. That's equivalent of a PlayStation game selling 5 million. Is an Xbox One game selling 2.5 million. You know? So, yeah. Oh, but I mostly wanted to also just point out how wrong he is about this stuff, because, you know, what baloney this is. How many Sony franchises have just gone down the tube? Okay, you know what I remember? And these are all hyped to high hell and back. Resistance. You remember Resistance? There was Resistance 1, 2, 3, I think? I don't think they got to 4. You know, those were hyped to hell and back. Oh, because just like every PlayStation exclusive, by the hordes of Sony fanboys. They sold so poorly that they stopped making that series. That series is gone. There's no more Resistance series. You know, there's not going to be Resistance 4. Let's talk about SOCOM. Remember that? That was a big game on PS2. They made another SOCOM on PS3. Where's SOCOM? You know, where's these Sony fanboys that they support their games? They don't support their games, you know. How about, I would say the majority of Sony exclusives sell poorly. They do. What about The Last Guardian that had 15 years and trillions of forum posts and millions of podcast hours of hype? It sold like crap. You know, I don't even remember what it sold. Nothing. You know, and how much hype did that game have? So some Sony exclusives sell good. You know, Halo sells good on Xbox. Gears of War sells good on Xbox. You know, you're gonna have a few that sell good. What's sold good on PS4? Uncharted and now Horizon SJW, apparently. You know, that's it. I don't even think Infamous Second Son honestly sold that well. It didn't, in fact. I remember from the time. Hyped as hell as it was. That's another difference. All these Sony fanboys give their games 10 million times more hype on forums, so they should sell way more, and they don't. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, just look at how many franchises Sony has that are just dead. You remember Journey? Remember how hyped up that piece of crap was? You know, the company that made that game went out of business? Like, literally, they went out of business. And that game was hyped to hell and back, and it sold like garbage. That's why the company went out of business. You don't go out of business if your game sells good. You make another one as fast as you can, you know? So I'm just pointing out that the majority of overhyped Sony games sell like crap. Knack sold like crap. I don't even remember all these crappy games. Where's Beyond Two Souls Part 2 or whatever? That sold like crap, you know? All these games, I mean, they may sell middling to crappy, I'd say. You know? Okay, some are hits, but some Xbox games are big hits, you know? A few. Like I said, I can only think of 2 games that have sold well for PlayStation. One was Uncharted 4, and another was Horizon SJW now. That's it. You know, where's the big sellers? You think Microsoft hasn't sold a lot of Halo and Gears of War 4? You know, especially Halo, and Forza Horizon is huge. So, it's just a bunch of baloney. Halo Wars 2 didn't sell that good because, and I think he was bitching about Halo. See, Halo Wars 2 didn't sell on her. You can't. Halo Wars 2 is a niche game. You know, what's wrong with that? I love all these Sony's fanboys are going to say, oh, nobody wants RTS. But if Sony makes some game, it's, oh, this is why I love Sony, because they're offbeat and they do different genres. Where's the RTS on Sony? You know, they don't have one. Where's your praise for Microsoft for doing a game that's not going to sell that well, that's in an offbeat genre, that's something different? You know, nobody gives Microsoft credit for that. They're just, oh, Halo Wars 2 sold like crap. Yeah, it's an RTS. They're not that popular on consoles. But shouldn't we be glad Microsoft tries something different instead of just more dude bro crap like Horizon SJW? You know? Nobody gives Microsoft credit for the other side of the coin. So yeah, that's when I might want to make my point. The main point being that Sony exclusives don't sell well. That's bullshit. Even Uncharted 4, they announced it sold 8.7 million. But you know where it sold most of those? It was packed in. It was packed into PS4s. Now, granted, I think Uncharted is pretty popular, and everybody who buys a PS4 is going to buy Uncharted. Fine. But like probably half of those 8.7 million were packed in. If you buy a PS4, you got Uncharted 4. That's just the way it is. In the last holiday. So even Uncharted 4's sales, they're kind of inflated, Oh, I had a little, just to make this point, I was looking at NPD. This is charts and NeoGAF post, and the NPD guy posted them. And here's a 12 months rolling ending February 2017 top 10 games physical and full game digital formats for publishers in the digital panel across all platforms including PC, ranked on dollar sales. So basically what this is for the past 12 months, from February 2017 to February 2016, past 12 rolling months, best-selling games. Now, what do we have here? Call of Duty Infinite Warfare 1, Battlefield 1, 2, NBA 2K17 3, Tom Clancy's The Division 4, Madden NFL 17-5, Grand Theft Auto 5 6, Overwatch 7, FIFA 17 8, Final Fantasy 15 9, Dark Souls 3:10. What do every single one of those games have in common? What does every single one of those games have in common? They're not PlayStation exclusive. A PlayStation exclusive is not in the top 10 for the past year. Horizon SJW will probably get there for a little bit. And remember, this is on a console that has over it's sold 2 times. Well, in the US it's a lot closer, but it's sold more than the Xbox. So it should have an easier time getting its exclusives in here, and it still doesn't have any. Horizon SJW, I'm thinking it can maybe hit this 10 spot or something, But this just shows how overhyped and how PlayStation exclusives don't sell that great. For the past rolling 12 months, there's not one in here. Not even didn't Uncharted 4 come out in fall? Was it fall 2015? I don't know. Okay, maybe it's over a year old. Not one PlayStation exclusive. Not one. Where are they at? So, yeah, granted, like I said, PlayStation has its hits and misses. But overall, its exclusives do not sell. That's my point. Now, Horizon SJW will probably be number 1 next month. Well, actually, it could be that or it could be Zelda, but Horizon SJW has a lot more. It has a lot more consoles sold, so it'll probably be Horizon. I mean, there's like 18 million PS4s or something in the United States sold, and there's 500,000 Switches now, maybe. So yeah, I'm gonna say Horizon SJW will probably beat Zelda. And it may even be number 1 next month, because I'm not sure what I'll come. Well, Mass Effect Andromeda will probably beat it. Definitely beat it, I guess, now that I think about it. So, yeah, I'm just pointing out, once again, that there's just not any Sony exclusives in the top selling games, and that Sony exclusives sell poorly.